That belongs in a museum.
For that conjunction, leaving yourself with no execute activators. So he's going to take a middle of the road here between our two plays. Your play was like the pure value play,
yes.
and mine was the pure tempo play, and he's going for the middle of the road play here. He's getting some value off Battle Rage, but not as much as he could have had, and he's also executing and getting the tempo.
I like this.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. It's right in the middle of what we were saying. It's pretty
exactly.
cool.
Another one of them. Well, that's actually cool, right? You're
Yeah,
getting
it works great with the Thalnos and the missiles here, maybe to clean up that Core Chrono lead and get RDU back on the board. He's really, I think, needs to...
Or you go, you risk the situation, and you just go with the Manavim, Thalnos, and then Arcane Missiles, because you have the buff on the Manavim, and if you don't roll the 50-50, well, kind of sucks, right?
I would have went for it. I would have went for the gambler play and just played the Mana Worm with it, but RDU takes the safe route. He considers it, thinks about it, and wants to make sure that Core Crown Elite dies, so he has the ability to ping it if it doesn't work out. But this way, yeah, he's drawing so many cards. At this point, it's so interesting, though, as he's going for this kind of more value-oriented line against a Tempo Mage that is so greedy. Like, RDU's list has the Faceless Summoner, and it has the Flame Strikes in it. It has Yogg Saron, Ragnaros, these big cards that it seems very difficult to kind of out-greed his deck. So we do see BoarControl.
Oh, it
looks like he's baiting a Flame Strike, maybe? He's developing extra minions here.
Yeah, he's baiting out the Flame Strike, but I actually think that if the Flame Strike would be in RDU's hand, it's actually beneficial for him. Like, by a lot.
It does seem like a good Flame Strike, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and the RDU has the potential to have it here as he runs 2, but he doesn't have it. He's going to go with the Ezra Drake. It's still like a pretty solid board for him. The Ezra Drake gets to clean up the Armor Smith pretty cleanly. He's got the ping on the 2-1. Not too bad. Gets to protect his 4-2 Drake.
Well, that's an interesting board state for RDU because he's kind of running low on this deck. So
Okay.
that also affects the way that RDU will think about his potential plays.
Yeah, BoarControl has a lot less value in his deck than RDU does. So as the game goes on longer and it gets slower, you have to start giving an edge more towards the Tempo Mage. You just because the cut of Varian Rin, basically. Just that one extra huge bomb, you know, being removed slows it down. But BoarControl is ahead on board, but just barely. He just only has a 3-mana creature ahead on the board, going into a turn 8 turn. Is this the time where you take the Rag Flip as RDU, or is the Frothing Berserker too scary?
The Frothing Berserker for 3 mana represents a threat for Ragnaros. So I think the risk is really too high.
Okay, RDU disagrees. He wants to take the risk here. It's potential that this Frothing Berserker can just trade with your Ragnaros if it misses.
It misses.
And it misses. But RDU does have 15 damage in his hand. The Warrior is at 18 life and does not have armor up. It instead has the Druid Hero Power.
And used 1 Armor Smith already.
And he used 1 Armor Smith already. So there's this game, and he has Draw to find more burn. He's got his Hero Power to deal damage. He's got Yogg Saron to potentially deal more damage.
Yeah,
so
well, Yogg Saron is lethal like instantly.
Every time, yeah. So I don't hate it. I think next turn he might even just like start doming face a little bit with some spells to try and charge up Yogg Saron. Wouldn't be too bad of a line of play. Would be kind of cute. And yeah, the 3-drop trading with the Ragnaros, though, it feels so bad. It was pretty high risk. He could have Frostbolted and used Arcane Intellect that turn and cleared it off.
You don't necessarily hate the Ragnaros being on board there because it just can hit your face.
It could.
And that is like 0 effect on board. 4 to minion.
He's just setting up the Yogg Saron, getting a few more spells played in. He's put up 2 threats on the board, so Ragnaros usually can't kill both at the same time. And being frozen, BoarControl can't use his weapon to clean up this 4-2 minion, so Ragnaros could potentially hit a less valuable target.
That's correct. So this turn, BoarControl has to be thinking about how do I play the most defensive way I can.
Yeah.
And that, of course, means he needs to play the Taunt minion. And now for RDU, there's an interesting situation, interesting board state. Do you want to play the Yogg before the attack or after the attack?
A lot of times you want to be making the attack to increase your chance to clear with things like Starfall or Swipes or Avenging Wrath. But he is going to just go after where he's going to hold back on the attack, see if he can get some buffs on his minions first maybe so that they can get higher value trading in or
he gets additional spell, additional draw. There's a sap play on his opponent,
and
he goes on a taunt.
So that's 5 damage to the face if the minion sticks around to be there. Blizzard goes down, the board's now frozen.
Holy Fire, will it kill 5-5? Yeah, it kills the 5-5.
That's not good.
Fusion. doesn't do anything, but
That's a big minion.
that is a big minion, and he has still a card draw.
Yeah, and BoarControl has no execute. Both Fireballs have been used and both Frostbolts have been used. So RDU is very limited on the burn options remaining in his deck, and that Battle Rage might be able to draw into an execute that can clean up this Yogg-Saron. And once that Yogg-Saron's gone, RDU is almost out of threats, but the counterspell
The counterspell is insane.
denying
It's
3
just-
cards for BoarControl here. Just absolutely vicious.
People are on tilt,
Yeah.
and probably not only in this venue.
Yeah. Wow. But still, RDU does not have additional burn spells in his deck, right? There's no still trying to figure out the best way to react. I assume he's going to just have to throw down the taunt minion. And he's just valuing, do I want to hero power this turn? How important is getting this 1 life compared to getting more things on the board? And he's going to end up going for the hero power. Is he going to swing the weapon at the face or play around the bear trap? 'Cause that could be super impactful.
Well, it can be also an explosive trap, and you want
Yeah.
to trigger that as well.
Definitely, definitely. So the Ragnaros hits the Yogg-Saron, knocking it down with Brave.
This will be very important turn
Yeah.
for RDU if he gets to clear. Well, BoarControl is really tilting.
Oh, the Flame Strike. Could be played this turn, but it does not quite make it through the Bloodhoof Brave. It leaves 2 minions still alive at 2 health, so it's just not quite good enough in this situation, and
Yeah.
you can't pair it with spell power or anything to make it happen.
Well, it's still a okay trade, I think. You kill the Bloodhoof Brave, and then you play Flame Strike, or just go wide with 2 additional creatures. But I feel like playing the Flame Strike will be more important.
Yeah, that Frothing Berserker is very scary. Your Yogg-Saron's still alive, so you've seen a 1 Ravaging Ghoul, 1 Whirlwind. So in RDU's mind, there's a good chance that this Yogg-Saron is still going to either connect for 9 or eat up a Ragnaros shot. He is unaware that, of course, BoarControl has the 3rd and final remaining Whirlwind effect in his deck in the hand, so really good for BoarControl, though. Being able to clean up this Yogg-Saron, take back the board. He has Ragnaros left. He's at 10 health, which doesn't feel great, but he has an Armor Smith in hand, and RDU is completely out of burn spells. So he's just barely, it seems like he's able to outlast RDU's deck.
And RDU has no more endgame. He played the Faceless Summoner.
Yeah.
He played the Ragnaros. He played the Yogg-Saron. So his deck is kind of running low on value right now. That's an arcane.
Imagine he's running quite low. We've seen him play 2 Arcane Intellects this game, and the card draw from Azure Drakes and whatnot, so he's been really going through his deck a lot. Here comes the bear, if there's the attack,
And
and
it gets killed by the weapon.
the weapon plus execute to take down the bear. There's not really many...
Execute? No, you don't need to execute. You have the
Oh, you have the hero power. Yeah, obviously. Okay.
Flame Strike? Not really helpful right now.
We will assume that it's Flame Strike, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just not even worth to pretend it's not.
Yeah, I guess
So just
ping
ping
in
face.
face is just better than negate the effect of his hero power,
He is
right?
just going to go with the Flame Strike this turn.
Okay, well,
Not too bad.
I guess he came to the conclusion that the bluff won't work anyway, right? So let's just go for it. 2 cards left for
BoarControl. Yeah, he's really running out of steam here.
He's running out of... He has 1 card left. And that 1 card left is... Oh, I'm just gonna check the deck is right now. We're gonna keep it, everyone, like, you know, in check here.
Wow, this is coming really down to the wire.
Oh, I don't like this. No. If you played, you know that your opponent didn't use one Blood to Ichor. Do you want
That's
to give
true.
him that Blood to Ichor right now?
Yeah, that is kind of scary. Wouldn't it have been interesting if RDU maybe pinged his own minion to play around Blood to Ichor?
Oh my god, that is a huge minion! Karen Bloodhoof coming out of that's the last card.
That card provides a lot of value. I imagine BoarControl is really considering maybe executing this minion, just counting out the fatigue damage, figuring out how much damage is he going to take over time. Can he afford to actually use his face to kill this minion? Otherwise, will he die in fatigue?
And he's taking the face damage?
Yeah.
I was just counting the damage, and it doesn't feel like a great plan.
He's going to be taking...
1 damage next turn.
Well, he can heal for 1 as well. Well, no, then the ping is also 1. So, yeah, 1 damage, and then he takes 2, and then he takes 3.
Yeah. He is coming on top because now he's able to use the Blood to Ichor. I was thinking for a second maybe it's worth it to wait with the Flame Waker until the final turn.
Okay.
Because then your opponent doesn't gain the 2 attack from
the Blood to Ichor.
From the Blood to Ichor. Not sure about it. I think it doesn't change anything.
The Karen's just too fast.
Yeah, it's
Because you're
4
also
turns
taking
slow.
fatigue damage as well, so
Yeah.
your health advantage in the situation diminishes pretty quickly. So RDU is facing down 6, 7, 8 the following turn. BoarControl is going to be taking 2. And then he's going to be taking 3.
I really wonder what would happen.
And BoarControl takes the game. No, he's not. He's 1 off, isn't he? Isn't he dead? Because he takes 3 from fatigue. RDU has the ping for 1. Taking the face damage and the Cult Sorcerer has lost BoarControl the game. If he had chosen, he knew RDU's last card was Flamewaker, right?
Right.
There's 2 Flamewakers in Temple Mage every time. So if he had went Blood to Ichor Execute on the Cult Sorcerer,
then he would have won.
Then he would have won the game.
Well, that is kinda.
That is
problematic.
costing him the game right now. Yeah, that one little mistake, that one life there, the decision to face tank that Cult Sorcerer in the end